Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I am Ayotunde Balogun. On the program today, Kano State kicks off its second economic summit. Officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) continue their march against corruption. And pensioners in Osun State claim their gratuities remain unpaid. The program begins from the northeast part of the country, where 3 suicide bombers have blown themselves up in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, after detonating IEDs strapped to their bodies. There were no reported casualties, though. Now, men of the Civilian Joint Task Force who intercepted the attackers say they came on motorcycles and were dropped off some distance to Mamanti village in Mulai area of the state capital. Police EOD teams were promptly drafted to the scene to clear the area and restore normalcy. The second economic summit being hosted by Kano State is aimed at generating perspectives, strategies and best practices to showcase viable investment opportunities that will attract local and foreign investors. At the opening ceremony, the Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje says it is expected that participants will consider the current status of the Nigerian economy to produce a workable document for the state's socio-economic development.
It's the formal opening ceremony of Kano State Economic and Investment Forum, and the Coronation Hall is filled to capacity. Gathered here are dignitaries, including the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II, state governors, federal government officials, businessmen and women. The summit aims to attract investors to help transform the state's economy.
As a government, we realize that without aggressive reforms to diversify the economy and boost internally generated revenue, all our programs and projects will remain sheer dreams. It is for this reason that we are reducing our dependency on the Federation account and adopted a revenue-driven budgetary implementation.
Agriculture and animal husbandry is the predominant occupation in northern Nigeria. The governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal, is worried about lack of funds to boost the sector.
Without funding, agriculture and business cannot thrive. And you know, one of the most important sectors of the economy that can offtake the teeming youth and women that we have that are out there without jobs is agricultural sector.
To complement the governor's speech, the Minister of Budget and National Planning highlights the plans for the country.
Our aim, simply put, is to turn Nigeria from a nation of consumers, a nation of importers, to a self-reliant nation of producers. In this way, we will create jobs for our people.
For the Emir of Kano and Sultan of Sokoto, Nigeria can only grow if the country's narrative is changed to a producer nation.
We are a crude oil producing country. We import petroleum products. We have hides and skin and we import shoes. We have cotton and we import textiles. There is absolutely no reason for that to happen.
Therefore, must concentrate on the little businesses that we have known for centuries. In doing that, you will have a very contented society.
In the next 2 days, this gathering of investors and industrialists are expected to come up with possible ways to help turn Kano State's economic challenges into greater opportunities.
The British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mr. Paul Arkwright, has commended the Enugu state government for its role in ensuring justice for victims of sexual assault in the state. And Mr. Arkwright made the comments while handing over the Tamar Sexual Assault Referral Center to Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. The center, which was established 3 years ago by the Department for International Development, fights for justice for all victims of sexual abuse.
After 3 years of being run by the UK's Department for International Development, the Tamar Sexual Assault Referral Centre is being officially handed over to the Enugu State Government. The centre was officially opened in 2014 in Enugu by the Sullivan Chime administration in partnership with the Women's Aid Collective and supported by the DFID. Since inception, Tamar SARC has handled over 600 assault cases, including minors, changing the narrative of reporting sexual abuse.
We've had very trying cases. We've recorded few convictions, as is always the case. I think what is happening today is really not just a lesson in democracy. It is something that we should all be proud of in terms of government, civil society partnership.
British High Commissioner Mr. Paul Arkwright commended the state governor for being instrumental in sustaining the project.
No success can last without being embedded in policies and institutions and championed by people in positions of leadership. Handing over the Tamar Assault Referral Centre is another example of the government of Enugu State ensuring sustainability of an initiative launched with the support of the UK.
This is just one of the various intervention programs by the DFID. The state governor reassures the organization and civil movements of his commitment to keep the centre going.
I use this opportunity, therefore, to thank the British government for the tremendous assistance that the DFID had rendered to us in some key areas of development through such projects and programs as the Partnership for Transforming Health System, PATS, Justice for All, State Accountability and Voice Initiative, SAVI.
On the sidelines of the handover ceremony, they also observed a moment of silence for the Manchester Arena attack. Although the state has taken over, the DFID regional office in Enugu will still perform oversight functions to ensure sustainability.
Into the southwest part of the country, a 7-year energy crisis has come to an end at the comprehensive school Iyanofa in Oyo State. This was made possible with the help of the Nigerian Air Force, which donated a solar-powered project to light up the school and its environs. The Air Force believes poverty, which leads to lack of basic necessities, is hindering the process of learning in many schools across Nigeria and Africa.
Students and workers of this military institution of learning have in the last 7 years suffered erratic power supply. The authorities of the Air Force came to the rescue. Happy-looking faces converged in the Air Force Comprehensive High School, Iyanofa, in Oyo State to witness the handing over of the new solar electricity project. The representative of the Chief of Air Staff at the occasion, Air Vice Marshal Jafaru Yahaya, explains that the era of epileptic power supply in the 26-year-old institution is over.
In his passion for academic excellence and love for education of our children, approved the provision of solar power for the school to address the lingering problem of electricity supply to the school.
The commander of the 571 Nigerian Air Force Detachment believes that the new hybrid solar project will enhance the students' educational performance.
The adequate infrastructure deficiency was addressed headlong, which led to the construction of 2 blocks of 4 classrooms each in the school, the construction of polar fence, and the installation of solar power system in the school. The solar power system will greatly boost the provision of water supply and electricity for the students and staff of the school, thereby improving the standard of academic learning and living conditions of the children.
The Oyo State Commissioner for Education, Professor Adeni Olofela, says the project is significant as the entire world is tilting towards more sources of integrated and renewable energy.
Energy poverty is a major challenge which is facing us on a daily basis. In fact, we have about 90 million students who are suffering from this in sub-Saharan Africa. Many classrooms do not have modern gadgets for ICT facility, projectors for presentations, fans, air conditioning, computers, and so on and so forth.
These solar panels, which are replicated in both the boys and girls hostels, have a 25-year warranty, and the batteries due for replacement in 10 years. Observers are hoping that there will be a replication of this gesture in other military institutions across the country.
After the break, EFCC organizes rally in Port Harcourt and in Kano. Details in a moment.